If I had to give a description of Brian, there's so many thoughts that come to mind. But I want you to hear a little bit of what Brian has accomplished. He has recently completed and been the lead African American producer on Broadway. Producers make it happen. And tell us a little bit about your journey. How did you get here?
Well, I hail from Orange County, California. I went to a boarding art school that took me east all the way to the Hart School. From the Hart School, I went to New York, doing the performing thing, bouncing back and forth. And then I found myself outside of a dance class one day, and Miss Allen was on the other side of the dance class, and she said, "I'd like to hire you." I said, "Okay."
Miss Allen?
Debbie Allen.
The Debbie Allen?
And I said, "Okay." And she said, "Don't you want to know what the job is for?" I said, "No." So I took the job, and that one job led to about 5 or 6 other jobs. And then I found myself with a phone call from her one day and said, "I have another job for you. It's not performing, but I think you'd be really, really good at it." And it happened to be line producing for Mariah Carey's Christmas tour. And so after that, I loved it. I told my agent after missing many, many auditions that this was the path that I wanted to be in, and I've loved it ever since. Becoming a producer is not something I think that people wake up and say, "Oh, I want to be a producer today." If this was just something that, I hate to use this phrase, I fell into and I really, really enjoyed. I enjoy putting people together going, I think this person would be really great with this person, and if we could tell this story with those people, that would be really amazing.
I love that. And one of the topics that we're going to cover today, so for years I've been an investor, and we're looking for a clear view into the return on our investments. And today the topic we are addressing that's near and dear, in fact emanating from our Brian Moreland here, is unconditional investing. Talk to us about that and why that term.
Well, we are all a walking return on someone's investment in us.
Let's say that again. Hold it. Can we say that again? You want to write that one down.
We are all a walking return on someone's investment in us. And so when I think about unconditional investing, because there's 2 types of investing, right? There's investing when you're expecting a certain outcome, right? You put money into this particular CD and you're expecting it to yield this. You put money into this particular stock, you're hoping the stock does this, right? It's a conditional investment. An unconditional investment doesn't always involve money. It can involve time, it can involve mentorship, it can involve inspiration, and all of us are a walking return of someone's investment into us. My first investment came from my mother. My mother gets Mother's Day and Father's Day. But after my mother, I credit my teacher, Mrs. Allen. It was my first 3rd grade teacher who brought me to the stage and introduced theater to me.
Is that Mrs. Allen, also the Debbie Allen?
No, not Debbie Allen.
Okay,
not
different
Debbie
Allen. Just
this
clarify.
is a different Allen. And she introduced theater to me. She called my mother one day and said, "Could Brian be in the school play?" My mother said yes. She said, "Will you make the costume?" My mother said yes. And then from there, I did that play. It happened to be called Be What You Want to Be. I do this play. I couldn't tell you anything else that happened once the lights went up and the lights came down, except the fact that I wanted to be a part of the theater. That was it. And from there, Miss Allen drove me to rehearsals. She drove me to choir practice. She kind of filled in the gaps of childcare for my mother. And so she was my second investment, an unconditional investment to me. She asked nothing of me. I'm a child. What can I give her except attention and praise and thanks? So when I think about wonderful investors like yourself, yes, you're always looking for what is that financial return, especially when you're investing in Broadway. How much money can that make? What will you return to me? Well, Broadway's been very good to me. I've been very fortunate. I had the first show that reopened Broadway right after the pandemic. It was called Thoughts of a Colored Man. After that show, I was blessed to be the steward of the August Wilson Estate and bring the piano lesson to Broadway, which starred Samuel L. Jackson and John David Washington and Danielle Brooks.
That's great.
And after that, I had The Wiz and some other things. And then someone decided to pour into me again. And that happened to be Denzel Washington. And I got this phone call from him on the set of Gladiator 2. And it said, I know. And I received
That's amazing.
But I received this phone call and he said, I want to do Othello. Go make it so. And I called Kenny Leon and I said, Kenny Leon, would you do this with Denzel? He said, of course I'm going to do it, and you're going to produce it. I said, okay. Now I have two people who have given me their trust. They have invested in me.
Yes.
Othello became the #1 revival in history on Broadway.
The #1 revival on the history of Broadway. And what I learned from Kenny Leon, who's a friend and an investor unconditionally in you, this play was the most profitable play in the history of Broadway. Wow. And he emphasized it. Think about that. The most profitable play in the history. That, yes, including Lion King and all of the other ones that we just know and love. That's incredible. Congratulations. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. But we all have these returns, right? We all have these returns on investment. When you guys meet someone and you decide to mentor them, we're hearing stories about them all day today. All day today, someone is a walking return on an investment in them. This last story, her story, Mara's story.
Yes.
Mara's story about identifying stories that matter, not giving the value of your story away simply because it's not mainstream or it doesn't look like the cultural norm. These stories have value, and we have to invest in them unconditionally without expectation of return.
I love that. So what advice do you give to investors who might be thinking about investing in Broadway?
Well, if you're thinking of investing in Broadway, I always have a play for you. My next play is August Wilson's Joe Turner's Come and Gone. It's going to be directed by Debbie Allen. It's going to star Taraji P. Henson and Cedric the Entertainer and Ruben Santiago Hudson. We're returning to the Barrymore Theater. That is one you can invest in. But also, what you can do is find someone and ask yourself, what are you willing to invest in either yourself or in someone else without conditions? Just because you can.
That's huge. Just that thought is huge. And this is a full circle moment.
Yes, it is.
And let's talk about why.
Oh, so I think it was about 3 years ago. About 3 years ago, Kenny Leon has a book, Take You Wherever You Go. And she offered her home for a wonderful book signing for him to come and speak in this very room. It was my first time to the Vineyard, first time to Oak Bluffs, first time to this home. And in the same place, you gathered people as you have today. And you gathered, and people all said, how can we support you, Kenny Leon? How can we help you? What can we do if we can't invest financially? And I said, I want to answer that question. You can buy a ticket to his show. You see his name, buy a ticket. Because if you don't buy a ticket, if you don't put a butt in that seat, he can't go to work and do the work that he's been doing. That's how you can invest in him.
Is that not incredible? And the notion, we do this sometimes when we're investing in nonprofits. We're doing it because we believe in the nonprofit. We aren't looking for an investment return. We believe that the cause is important. Some of my friends who have invested in sports leagues, many of the sport leagues don't perform very well, but they do it because of the love for the sport. So if you're loving the arts, Reggie Van Lee is an example of someone who regularly invests in the arts because it's aligned with the passion. And when you align your actions with your passions, incredible returns result. So what advice would you give to young people in the arts who are going in this journey, which is not always the easiest path?
I would say you have to eat no for breakfast, as Kamala Harris says. You have to eat it for breakfast and know that a no today is a yes tomorrow. Because no doesn't mean forever. It can mean not right now. It can mean go through another door. It can mean call someone. It can mean reach out. It can mean retrain. It can mean a great deal of things, but it's not a no as in no, you're not good enough. It is no, keep going.
I love it. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
That was great.